this actor turns our channel number today. That would be someone who's turning 73. This actor, comedian, is 73 today. If you know who that is, you know that they're a co-owner of a baseball team that just won the championship. Which city won the championship? This actor is a co-owner to the team. So what city's that in? If you know it, if you know it, Phlash.Phelps at SiriusXM.com. I'll give you another big one for you. 34 years ago today, a major hurricane came in and did $8 billion worth of destruction in our city of the day. Again, this guy turned 73. He's the co-owner of a baseball team that just won a big championship in baseball. Name the city now. Phlash.Phelps at SiriusXM.com. He's also known as the director of fun, and he sang Doo-Wah Diddy Diddy in a movie. What was that?
Traveling in his special way. It's the city of the day.
Well, you found today's City of the Day right away. We're talking about somebody turning 73 today. That was Bill Murray that you needed. And I said Bill Murray is the co-owner of a baseball team that just won the championship the other night. And you knew right away Bill Murray, the co-owner of the Charleston River Dogs, who just won the Carolina League. Congratulations, 73 years old today for Bill Murray, co-owner of the Charleston River Dogs. 34 years ago today, Hurricane Hugo hit Charleston, South Carolina. It all adds up, and you knew today's City of the Day. Peggy Berner got it out of Hendersonville, North Carolina. Dan and Heartland got it. Bill and Joy figured it out from Chattanooga. Mark, Cary, Illinois. Bradford and Brooke, who are checking in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Joe Miles up in that area as well. Doug in Asheville. There's Bob down in Bradenton, Florida. I see Bob in Brooksville, Florida as well. Donna Decker, you all figured it out. Again, and he sang the song. We're talking about Bill Murray turning 73 today, our channel number. You remember when he sang the song Doo-Wah Diddy Diddy in Stripes? Do we have a clip of it? Here we go.
Yeah, she was just walking down the street singing Doo-Wah Diddy Diddy.
Sing it.
Popping her fingers and shuffling her feet singing Doo-Wah Diddy Diddy. She looked good, she looked good, she looked fine, looked fine, looked good, she looked fine,
and here's Bill Murray.
Before I knew it, she was walking next to me singing Doo-Wah Diddy Diddy.
All right, let's play it right now. That was Bill Murray in Stripes. Happy 73rd birthday. Dionne Warwick's Do You Know the Way to San Jose? She's trying to get from Hollywood, and we're hoping this Hollywood strike is going to be over. They're in talks, and they said they're very close. So that was good news. We'll see what happens later today in the news again about Hollywood. But if you're trying to get to San Jose, there is one road that does connect it. Not the fastest way, but US 101. It's the Hollywood Freeway. You just stay on 101, Ventura Freeway, and you'll eventually end up in San Jose. Not the quickest way, but you'll get there. Here's Michael Chance. He wrote us and just said, Phlash, Linda, and I, that's his wife, they're out on a trip right now. They left about 5 this morning. They're going all the way down to Hammond in Louisiana. And guess where they are from? Hainesport, New Jersey, which is really cool. That's the home of Big Rusty. I recently have gone up there twice to go find Big Rusty. Now, there's a Big Rusty statue, but it's not really a Big Rusty statue because it's not made of metal. It's made of wood. There's Thomas Dambo. He makes these statues all over the entire country of these giant trolls. And he actually has them all over the world. But Hainesport, New Jersey has one of the newer ones. It's really cool if you've not gone over to see it. If you're in the Philly area or Trenton, just drive over and see Big Rusty. He's really neat. He's in Hainesport. Okay, so they're going to do a whole drive. They're listening all day long. So thank you again to Linda and Michael making the drive all the way down to Louisiana at SiriusXM 60.
And on the SXM app.
Everything from the Twist, as in Twist, Arkansas, that's a place. And Mendocino, that's a great place. It has a lot of high gas prices when you're talking about Mendocino, if you've ever gone there in Northern California. But we had Do You Know the Way to San Jose earlier. And that's right where they're going to be playing Thursday Night Football down there on the north side, Santa Clara, California. San Francisco 49ers at home with the Giants. Check out our Channel 88 and hear more. Hey, today was the day when Monday Night Football started. Do you remember what year it was? It was 1970. Who were the first 3 hosts of Monday Night Football? Yeah, Frank Gifford wasn't there yet. Okay, so it was Howard Cosell. Did yell out Dandy Don Meredith? And who was the other one? Oh, Keith Jackson. Oh, fantastic. They were the original host of Monday Night Football. So now you have Thursday Night Football. Check out our Channel 80. And as we know, Sweet Caroline connected to Caroline Kennedy at 60s Gold. Oh, speaking of that, listen to this one. Yesterday I made a comment. It was the anniversary of Chester A. Arthur becoming our 21st president. So that was it. Now, I said that on the air, and I got this message right after it from Dan Ferraro. And he said, Phlash, I have to comment about this yesterday when you mentioned Chester A. Arthur becoming our 21st president on September the 20th. He said, I was a kid in the 60s, and I would ride my bike right around the Rose Garden over at Union College at Schenectady, New York. While I was playing there, I saw a statue. It was of Chester A. Arthur, and I knew he went to Union College, but it said on there he was our 21st president. And he said, being a kid, I didn't care about that, and I forgot about it. Then yesterday, you had mentioned Chester A. Arthur, and I remembered that statue. It all came back to me, and I was wondering, was that his grave? Is he really buried there? And I'll tell you what, very cool thing about this, because there is a connection in between his grave and that statue. That statue is there at Union College. The person who made that statue also did his gravesite. So you had something in common right there, and the grave is over in Manan. So it's not that far away between the two. Way to go knowing that and putting it together. Dan, great flash mail. It's Sirius XM, 60s Gold.
The British invasion,
Baby, baby, can't you hear my heartbeat?
the girl groups,
They do run, 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 they do run, run.
Motown, and more.
Baby, I need your loving.
Sirius XM, 60s Gold.
And as his team, the Charleston River Dogs, won the Carolina Championship. That was just the other night. That's why it was very cool, all the connections that were in there. And then the very sad Hurricane Hugo hit 34 years ago today. So Charleston was the city of the day. Many had asked Bill Murray, how many teams does he own now? It's 2. He has Charleston River Dogs and the Pittsfield Suns, a part of the Collegiate League. He sold off a number of the Brockton Rocks. He had that one. He sold that one off. What else did he sell? The St. Paul Saints. Remember, they had that one as well. So he loves baseball, but he loves his Cubs, as we know. So we have John and Lynn out of Colorado Springs checked in, and they are the Beckers, and they said, we're grooving to the 60s, and here it is, our 50th year. We're celebrating. They said, in fact, we're driving to Dallas, Texas right now. We're going to go see the Rangers play with our brother who's been to all the MLB stadiums. So very cool. John and Lynn in Colorado Springs. Again, they're going down to Dallas, so Rangers don't play today.
Sirius XM 60s Gold. Flash Phelps, starting your Thursday.
Woke up this morning feeling fine.
Guess what? It's Friday Eve. That's far out.
Calls out there at 60s Gold. To my translator newscaster, let's see what's in the news. Kelly.
Good morning, Flash.
Well, good morning.
Now, if you think artificial intelligence is taking your job,
Uh-oh.
that's nothing compared to this.
What's that?
AI can translate. Are you ready?
What's that?
Chicken speak.
Chicken. You mean they're going to actually figure out when a chicken makes a sound what it means?
Yes, scientists in Japan say AI can help understand what different chicken clucks mean with about 80% accuracy.
Really?
It uses the sound of their vocalization to determine distinct emotional states, including hunger, fear, anger, contentment, excitement, and distress.
Uh-oh.
Now, obviously, insights like this could be very beneficial in the care of animals,
Yeah.
allowing us to know what stresses them out
Yeah.
without having to guess. It's worth pointing out that this research is in its very early stages.
Okay.
Very exciting for those of us who have chickens.
You do,
Now,
yeah.
I've got the content clucks down for sure.
yeah.
And I've got the stress clucks down for sure.
Oh, no, that means you need to get the hunger, the fear, the anger, and the excitement to be able to figure out exactly what that is. I will play a sound of a chicken. You tell me what the chicken is thinking. You ready? What do you guess again? Listen again. All right, one more. Did you figure it out? All right, it's 60s Gold. Sirius XM 60s Gold. Today is called National Pawpaw Day, about the fruit, but there's places in America named that. We have one nearby here called Pawpaw, West Virginia. In fact, on the other side of the Potomac River, there's the Pawpaw Tunnel, which is very famous, not too far from Cumberland, Maryland. But it's fun to take your pet out to one of the places called Pawpaw in America, hold both of their paws up in the air and get a photo of them showing their paws under the Pawpaw sign. If you've never seen any of those photos, they're great. You're on 60s.
Flash Phelps, playing all 60s hits. Sirius XM, 60s Gold.
Oh, since I played Three Dog Night, did you know Chuck Negron? He's a part of going into the California Music Hall of Fame on Saturday. Our own Shotgun Tom Kelly's going to be a part of it as well. They're doing it in Temecula, California, which is between the Inland Empire and down towards San Diego. It's right off the 15. So enjoy that if you happen to be in the area on Saturday. Hey, I heard from JT. He's doing a whole thing this weekend. It's about a wedding. And here's what he wrote. JT is John, I hope I can get your name right, Taborda, and he's from Crystal River, Florida. As we know, Crystal River, part of that got hit by the hurricane right around Labor Day. And he said, this is his first time writing. He said, I've had Sirius XM since 2010. I listened to 60s Gold at various times of the day, from the mornings all the way through the evenings. And he said, when you're on, I like City of the Day, and I just listen all the time. So he's doing a drive up for a wedding in Knoxville, Tennessee right now. So he said, you're keeping us company. He said, thanks to you and all of the hosts along 60s Gold, you have made this my favorite channel on Sirius XM. So that is really nice. JT, thank you for writing in. Have a safe ride as you're going to the north. It's pretty amazing, all the different people that are here. And we all sound different. We're all connected by the 60s sound. Like this, it's 60s Gold.
The day is always better when you start it with Phlash Phelps and all 60s hits.
It's a beautiful morning.
Sirius XM, 60s Gold.
Leaves are falling all around. Breeze blows leaves of the musty courage yellow.
Fall into the 60s.
And the leaves that are green turn to brown.
Sirius XM. 60s Gold.
I always like that cover of And I Love Her. The U.S. picture sleeve, if you remember, was the one that said the Beatles and I Love Her. If I Fell was on the other side, and it had all four Beatles, and Ringo was sitting in the chair, and he's turned around to his left. Remember that? Yeah, in picture. Sirius XM, 60s Gold. The play Aladdin that's on Broadway, the understudy, they had to try to get her from Kennedy Airport after having an overseas flight, so they moved her up to first class. They moved the gate as well to get it closer, because you had to be able to be rushed through customs and immigration. So she goes through. They got her a helicopter, got her into Manhattan. She made it in time to be able to play the lead role in Aladdin. Really incredible. All right, you're on the Phlash Phunny Pharm. Here's some listeners that are overseas as well. Well, they're in the Caribbean. And let's see. We got Jim and Ann. They said, we're listening to you right now this morning, poolside in Aruba. And we are over at the Surf Club. It's our annual pilgrimage that we're doing, and it's one happy island. We're going to return back to Melbourne, Florida in a couple more weeks, but we're having fun down here in Aruba as we're listening to you on the Sirius XM app. So that's really cool. Wherever you are around the world, let me know. Send over a flash mail so we can give you shout-outs for listening overseas right now. Again, in Aruba, the part of the ABC island.
Colorful clothes
like a striped pair of pants.
and bright record labels. Sirius XM, 60s Gold.
2:50 a.m. on Saturday morning, Pacific time, 11:50 p.m. on Friday night. You're on 60s Gold. Anthony Lanting, he's down in the Central Time Zone in Alabama, and he said, all last winter, spring, and summer, I was able to wear shorts. How long can I go before I put on long pants? He's still doing it. Walking in shorts, listening with 60s Gold. There's a great example of a one-hit wonder. They go to number one, Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs, and then they never have another song that got even close. They had two songs that got and peaked into the 80s, but nothing like a big number one. So we'll find out what you voted on for your favorite of one-hit wonders. We're going to do that countdown. Dave Heffel will bring it to you first at 2 p.m. Eastern this coming Saturday, which will already be fall by that time, and 11 a.m. Pacific. So that's our special 60s satellite survey. Let's see who's checking in. We have Laurie and Ed. They've been out on the road. They said, you were talking about the giant troll statues of Thomas Dambo. I love those. He just does such a great job, and he just built 10 more of them in the U.S. So they're everywhere from the Seattle area to Miami now, and as far as Maine as to Colorado. I don't know. He didn't put them in the Southwest yet. Maybe he'll come back and do those. And it said that we went up to the UP of Michigan to see his brand new one, Benny the Beard Fisher. That's a really good one, too. Yeah, he did that one earlier. right after, because we had the closest one to me is the one in Haynes Point, New Jersey, which is only about an hour away from where I am outside of Philadelphia. So I love his work. So thank you for going over and taking these photos for me again. And John Women on the Phlash Phunny Pharm at 60s Gold. Hi to Cindy Weatherby and John. Hey, they are listening. They have been out in Washington State, and you know what they're doing today? They're over just in the Clarkston and Lewiston area because they're doing Hell's Canyon, one of the most incredible places to see. Enjoy your time out there again. John and Cindy with 60s Gold.
Making your morning out of sight. Everything is alright. All 60s hits to start your day. Sirius XM. 60s Gold.
All 60s hits. 60s Gold. Non-stop music.
Sirius XM 60s Gold, Phlash Phunny Pharm. And I every once in a while I get asked all these questions about the early days of satellite radio because many of you picked it up along the way, and then you wonder, well, what was it like in the very beginning? 23 years ago when I was here, okay, we didn't have satellites, we didn't have a radio, we weren't on the air, we didn't have anything. And they came to me and they said, hey, can you put together a 4-hour loop of what you think the 60s channel will sound like? And when I saw the next song coming up, it goes down in satellite radio history. So here's what happens. A 4-hour loop of just what we think the 60s will sound like. The Consumer Electronics Show comes up in January of 2001. So we don't have a satellite, so we rent somebody's satellite. We get a satellite truck because we didn't have a way to send the signal as well. So a satellite truck sat in our parking lot, sending our signal from the studio in Washington, D.C. to somebody else's satellite down to a radio in Las Vegas at the Consumer Electronics Show. Our marketing director is on stage to show off satellite radio, and we have no idea what he's going to do. He starts tuning through the channels, saying, okay, let's hear what this one's doing. And he goes, oh, here comes one of my favorites, the 60s channel. And he turns it over to the 60s, and what song was playing in that 4-hour loop? It was Dion, Ruby Baby. And he goes, oh, I love this song. And this played. National Anthem Girl is out somewhere on the road. That's Janine Stang, who is out doing some motivational speaking. And it sounds like you're on the road. I hear beeping. Oh, you know what that sounds like? It sounds like you're in an airport, and that's one of those airport carts. Is that what that is?
It was an airport cart that just passed.
I know that sound. I don't hear it that often, but I did know what that was.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you understood that sound, but I looked up and actually you said what it was, and I looked and said, yep.
Name that sound. I used to play that game on the radio. It was a game. Name that sound. I'd play a sound. Okay. So now here's what I don't know. I don't know where you are. So I always like playing the game, me trying to figure out where someone is.
I was in Lansing, lamenting the fact that my husband told me that he ate all the fudge that I got from Traverse City. But now, where I am, you'd be proud of me, Phlash, I did a little touristy walk this morning because I didn't have to leave at the crack of dawn. I was on a street called High Street, and there is... off of that, there is a huge building that is always on your side. And
Nationwide.
Then,
you're in Columbus. You're in Columbus.
Dang it. I didn't get to the good part. Delete. Let's do that again.
I like that game. That is so much fun to always try to figure out where you are by you guys coming up with clues. Janine, thank you for checking in. Incredible motivational speaker out there in Columbus, Ohio. So that was John Glenn Airport is where you are. Heat Wave now at 60s Gold.
Phlash Phelps. Music power, power, power.
That's Touch Me by the Doors. First time I ever played that song on the radio, I was in Haber, Montana on the radio. That was a while ago. How about this? Speaking of Haber, I just got a message from there. Jerry just checked in, and he said, hey, Phlash, our son Tanner is going to be marrying Chelsea Nottingham this coming Saturday, September 23rd in Three Forks, Montana, and it's going to happen at the Sacagawea Inn. So Pam and I, along with Chelsea and Tanner, we're driving right now to Three Forks, and is there any way you could play a song for them for their wedding? How about Stand By Me by Benny King from 62? Can you make that one of your last songs? Do we have it? Yep, we got it. Got it right now. I sure hope they're listening. So it's always great to hear from Jerry and Pam out there in Haber, Montana. And again, for Tanner and Chelsea, I'll bet that I'm just guessing that they were born after the time I worked there. Is that true? That's probably a pretty good guess. At Sirius XM 60s Gold, here's your son, Benny King on the Phlash Phunny Pharm. And we have another King with a birthday, and that's our friend Stephen King, who's a very big listener right here to 60s Gold. And I found out a very cool way because I got a message and they said, "Do you read Stephen King's post online?" And this was a number of years ago. And I said, "No." They said, "Go check it out right now. See what Stephen King just wrote." And he wrote about how he was listening to the 60s channel with DJ Phlash Phelps, and he spelled my name correctly. That was the coolest thing. Stephen King, happy birthday, and I'm so glad you listen and know how to spell my name. That was so cool. And now to my Transblanker newscaster, Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Phlash.
Good morning. Hey.
So as an adult, have you been around many kids?
Not a whole lot.
Let's say a 4-year-old.
Actually, my niece just turned 5.
Okay, things that kids teach us.
All right, okay.
There is no such thing as child-proofing your house.
Oh, boy, my mom taught me that originally when my sister had the kids, and that's like, they're going to mess up everything you want.
So true. A 4-year-old's voice is louder than 200 adults in a crowded restaurant. When you hear the toilet flush and the words, uh-oh, it's already too late. And I can't remember the host, but back in the 60s, wasn't there a show called Kids Say the Darndest Things?
Oh, yeah. It was our Linkletter and the Kids back in the 50s, and that continued on, as we know. But, man, he got those kids to say a lot of funny things. I'm going to run and go bye-bye. How was the show?
It's the most consistent show I've seen.
Yes, they get worse every single week.
Wow, what a change they just made. They went from liking it to they decided they didn't. Dave Heffel is going to be much better in just a second. Dave coming in next. Bye-bye, Funny Farm Fan Clan. You're seriously XM, and it was 60s Gold.